So the first two pieces I'm going to carpet are going to be the headliner, and then this is the tailgate cover. I want to get those done, and then I will do some of the pieces inside the van. I think I bought enough to do basically the entire vehicle, but I just want to make sure before I start cutting it up and doing pieces that don't necessarily need to be done until I know I have enough to do the whole thing. So I've chosen to do the charcoal gray. I just like the darker color because it doesn't end up with problems like this where I have dirt and debris that actually shows up. Even when it's a little dirty, it still looks pretty good. I'm gonna roll this out. You can see I've got a pretty good bit here. I can't remember exactly how many meters I bought. It's about 2 meters long. That you can see it's as long as the headliner here. So what I'm going to do is place these pieces so that I don't waste any material, and I'm making maximum use of what I'm actually cutting off. So I'll measure it out and go ahead and cut the piece to fit with just whatever I need as far as overlap so that it actually wraps around on both pieces, and then we'll start gluing. All right, so I've rolled it out, and now I can actually get both pieces out of one piece. That leaves me about 1 inch or so of overhang on both pieces. It'll leave me a little bit more than that, but that's all I really need just to get it around and tuck it underneath. I'm going to go ahead and just cut a piece off here, get that out of the way, and then we can start working on the actual headliners. The sides are different. So this side is a much smoother finish. So this is the side that you would glue. This side is more carpety feeling and has like a pile to it, a softness to it. So you want to make sure that you're putting the glue on this more smooth and less plush side, and you'll get your softness on the other side. All right, so this is the glue that I'll be using. It rated up to 110 degrees Celsius, you can see here. So that's over boiling temperature. So it shouldn't cause any problems as far as releasing in hot temperatures. I don't have to worry about that here. The sun doesn't get that hot here. One, I'm at a pretty high latitude, and also we have a lot of cloudy days. Even our really sunny days, it just doesn't get that hot here. I think our maximum temperature outside is usually around 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius. So that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to shake this up and start spraying. So my razor knife blade seems to be pretty dull from cutting the other materials. So I'm just going to use a straight razor here. It's a fresh blade, fresh out of the package. All right, there you go. That piece is finished. Now we'll have to pop holes for where my retainer clips go. That shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully it's not a problem for the clips. If it is, I can always just use screws rather than retainer clips. But as you can see here in this corner, you can see the hole right here in the corner. I will try to use my retainer clips. If that doesn't work, then I'll use just regular screws and just bolt it in. And that'll be fine. Okay, so now for the headliner. So what I did with that one is I just used the back of the headliner piece as my overspray piece. So there's already some glue on here. That shouldn't matter. It's probably already too dry to use as an adhesive, but I'm going to spray the adhesive on the headliner first, and then I'll put it on the carpet portion. All right, that was a whole can. So I did this piece and the headliner, and that was one full can. This was 500 milliliters. You'll want to know how much you're going to use. I've got 3 cans. I don't think that's going to do everything I want to do, but it'll get the majority of it done, and I'll just order what I need. I ordered this 3 cans at a time, so I can just get 3 more cans if I need it. This should be tacky enough now, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this headliner down. And I'm putting the headliner onto the carpet rather than carpet on the headliner, and then I can flip it over, or I can go ahead and roll the corners. But I think it doesn't really matter which way you do it, I don't think. But we'll see how this turns out. For some reason this one is spraying like a stream. I switched the tips and it's still spraying like a stream, so just have to do what I can with it. Okay, that is done. So now I can measure out some of the other pieces out of this roll and see what I can get done with the remaining glue that I have. Okay, so getting ready to install this rear tailgate piece. So what I did is I went around and just kind of razored out around the holes, and then I used a razor to cut through the fabric a little bit just to break the fabric open. And then I took a drill bit, this pretty big drill bit here, about the size of the hole, just a little bit smaller than the actual hole. And I drilled from the back side because the drill is pulling the material this way. So if you make a little relief cut, then it'll just reach in and grab the fabric and then pull it back towards you so it doesn't push away. If you drill from the other side, it wants to pull the fabric off of the panel, which I'm not sure if it would really matter, but I think it's better if you do it this way. And then hopefully, so you've got some little fabric that kind of pulls through. If you need to, cut that away. Got some here too. So cut that away if you need to, and then test fit your clips. My clips are smaller than the hole, so I don't think that a little bit of carpet is going to matter. That kind of peeks itself through the hole, but the other side of the main part of the clip is much bigger, so it makes a big space on there. So I'm going to go ahead and install this piece because I'm not planning on putting carpet on the back door because my door actually seals around the back part of the gate. And so if I put fabric there, then it wouldn't actually seal off the water. So I don't want to put any kind of fabric on that portion. So I'm going to go ahead and install this piece and have it done. All right, so there's the new tailgate piece installed. As you can see, my clips are a little bit lighter gray, but that's okay with me. I kind of like the accent. Now, the headliner is actually going to be held in with something even a lot lighter. So that might be a little bit weird, but I'm going to use them in the meantime. And if I decide they're just too much, then I can always go to Amazon and probably pick these up, or worst case scenario, I go pay some exorbitant price from Volkswagen. But these are going to be the headliner clips, and it should look okay. It'll be definitely an accent color. So this is why I didn't want to carpet my tailgate. As you can see here where the seal goes, it touches the metal. And if I were to wrap fabric around that corner, it's going to basically be touching carpet to the seal, and any water that touched would just kind of seep into the carpet. So I didn't want to do that. And I don't think this little bit of metal showing is going to matter. If I end up doing all of the pieces here, I can pull the seal back, or I can cut the fabric right here in the corner so that the seal can touch the fabric but not necessarily go over it. So I think that's going to work out fine. I'm not sure if that's exactly what I want to do yet. I may leave it all metal. I've already gone ahead and taped over all my holes just in case I do carpet it. I think I will. I think I may go ahead and do some carpet up top and just stop the carpet like in here. So I've decided not to do my headliner and package tray. I think I'd like to just leave those gray because one, they connect to the A-pillar covers, which are gray, and they also make it a little bit lighter so that you can actually see stuff up in top of the luggage tray. But these covers, I've decided I'm going to carpet those. Now, most people would just paint the plastic pieces, but I'm going to try carpeting it. And the problem will be how it wraps around the edge here. I may have to just cut it off flush and not wrap it any further in. This piece goes inside the door seal. There's a little groove that it fits in, or it fits around the rubber part that goes on the pinch weld, and it kind of like covers part of the seal. I will probably have to trim it really nice and tight to the edge so it doesn't actually wrap around. Now on these areas, I don't think it'll matter much. It can wrap completely around the edge. I'll probably have to cut this out to fit nicely. There is a plug that fits up in here. Then I have my it's like a little hanger that you can hang stuff on, clothes or a clothes hanger or something. This is also just a little plug that just pops in and out. So I'll probably just paint these two pieces black, and so that should work out good. Now what I've used is, this is 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. So I basically use soap water to wash it and wipe it down, and then I did the final wipe down with the alcohol. So now I'm ready to spray. I also removed these two pieces. These slide into the grooves for the seat belts so that you don't see where the seat belt bolts up. I'll just paint those black and then slide them back in place, and they should work out nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my carpet, roll some carpet out, cut that, and get some pieces that will fit. All right, so I have the two pieces roughly cut here, trimmed and ready. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put some sticky stuff on. All right, I've got the glue on both pieces, and now I'm gonna start sticking it together. Both covered. I have my little slits cut right there where I can put my screw through. The package tray will cover this hole. I've got a little piece that clips in here that I'll need to paint black, and the lower portion will clip into these sections, and I've overlapped it and cut it. I don't think I'll see this little spot here. I did fix one over here. I added a little piece, I added a little piece here because it was just too big of a gap. I think this is going to be fine here. If not, it's pretty easy just to glue a little piece in. Cut around my edges here, cut my corners away so that they'd fold in nicely. And yeah, I think this is going to work out really good. So now I'm going to slide my pieces back in here. And now I can put my seat belts back on and reinstall these pieces. Okay, I have these pieces installed now. So you have clip at the bottom, clip like right around in here somewhere, and then one up at the top. Now you can see this one from the back here, so you can line it up. Now this little hole here allows you to stick a little tool up in there and adjust your clip so you can get it right into the hole. And then you have a line-up pin and a clip here. So still have to put my little piece in here, and the package tray will fit up in here and with a screw, and then we can start putting our headliner in, which will slide right up on top of here underneath the clips that are part of the part of the side panel here. Now the lower portions will go in the bottom first, down here in these little grooves. And then you got the two clips here, and these two clips clip into the bottom of this piece. Now once you have this piece in place, I use this little trim tool here, and you go around the edge of your gasket here and just make sure that that is seated properly. You can see how it's supposed to kind of overlap here. So you want to make sure that it's overlapping this piece. See how it's kind of sticking out down here. So we kind of just get behind that, make sure that's all right. Make sure it clips in properly. All right, so that piece is in, and now I'm going to do the other side, and then we're going to put the headliner or the package tray back in and get all the little handles and sun visors, lamp, all that stuff put in. Then we'll work our way to the headliner in the back. Now the package tray just bolts in. So we got the clips that hold the sun visors. We have some screws underneath inside the lamp. We have the grab handles here, and we have the little plugs here. And then you also have where the sun visors go. The sun visors bolt in and sandwich the package tray against the headliner. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of contact where you will be putting screws in. Okay, so I've just sat it in place. I have the wire for my light. There's my light wire. And what I did was just put the sun visors, just rock them into place. They're not even bolted down, but that holds the package tray in place so that you can go ahead and put all your screws in. You could go ahead and put the screws in here, but you don't need to. That's holding it in place, and now you can get all your other screws in without having to hold it up. That seems to be the easiest way to get it in without having to try to line up bolt holes and that kind of stuff. Okay, so since I have windows and doors on both sides, I've decided to do this in pieces. So first I'm going to do the strips along the top here, and they're going to wrap all the way down into the window, and so they'll stop right about the top of the window here, and that will wrap all the way into the corner. I think what I'm going to do is one strip that goes from here that will wrap this rear quarter panel area up and over and around, and I'm going to stop the carpet in the corners here, or you try to piece it together here in the corners where any seams will not be as noticeable. I've got the two pieces already cut that will go the length here and wrap all the way to the window. I'm going to do that on both sides here, and then I'll just do little strips that run down, because I only need to come down to the bottom of the window. That's about where the luggage tray, the rear quarter panel covers will come to. So those are pretty small strips. Same thing here on the inside here. So I think that's going to be the best thing I can do and save material. And then I think what I'm going to do is just carpet these interior panels as well, so it will all be uniform, and I think that's going to be my best option. So I've already got those pieces cut. I'm going to go ahead and spray the glue here, get those pieces put in, and then we'll just kind of piece it all together as I go. Well, it's been a few days since I worked on the van, and these two panels I've been waiting on because I didn't have enough glue. So I got my glue in the mail, and now I'm going to put the carpet on these two panels, get those installed, and this project will be finished. So I'm going to wrap these and then probably do the inside with a separate piece, and hopefully I can get it to work into these really tight spaces without any problem. I'm not so worried about getting down in here. It does have some challenges. There's lots of bends, lots of compound curves, and so we'll see how this goes. But it's going to take a little bit of patience and working to make these fit. Okay, so I've pre-cut this piece. This was a remnant of the main piece where I'd cut a section off of it, and it's just barely enough to get over one of these pieces. I'm gonna actually have to stretch it just a little bit to get that last inch or so of that leg here. So I've watched another guy do his van on YouTube, and he was doing like a little bit at a time. So he would spray it and go ahead and attach it and stretch it as he's going, and then he would spray and stretch and spray and stretch. So I'm going to attempt to do it that way, and I'm going to begin with this the back edge here. This is where the back door would close to. I'm going to start there because it's a nice clean straight edge, so I can get my edge here as close as possible to the edge here where it wraps over just a teeny bit. And then I can stretch it as much as I can here before I have to worry about any of this stuff sticking. So I'm going to attempt to do that and see how that works out. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit difficult to get it on here without it sticking out here. Now I know if it touches, it's going to be okay because I can just pull it back off. But I need to try to keep it from touching. So what I'm going to do is kind of like drape it over my head and get it stuck, and then I'll work it over. All right, well I have that piece covered. Now I'm going to piece in some on the inside here. Now this is what was cut, the part that's in the top, that was just part of it. So I cut that kind of clean. And now I've got a piece that I think should fit pretty close, and then we'll just trim it to fit. And I think what I'm gonna do is overlap it a little bit and then just try to freehand cut it. I don't care if this is really perfect because you're probably never going to see this, but I do want this interior piece to all be carpet. So I've already got the glue on, I'm just waiting for that to dry, and piecing it in is going to be a little bit of a task just because it's so many compound curves, but hopefully we can make it work. Okay, that is done. I think I'm gonna have to do just a little bit of touch up, maybe put a little bit in these little spots where I cut a little bit too much out. It's not that big of a deal, but I think I could make that look a little bit better with just a little bit of spare fabric here. Now I'm going to do the next one, the big one, and we'll get that one done. All right, so I've got the glue on both pieces, and just learning from the last one, I did make sure that I got a lot underneath this edge here. So I had to spray it and then turn the can upside down and spray it till the can emptied, and then spray it again and then back up underneath. So I think I've got it nice and good under there, and I've done the entire thing, and I'm going to do this one like I did the last one. I'm going to drape the carpet over my head and start, and then work my way across. Same issue with this one. It's just a lot of bundled up material that gets in the corner here that's really difficult to get out and make it look nice. I got a little bit of a gap there, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. It's just getting into these corners, and once it bunches all up and folds together, it's just really difficult to get it to cut it out, just, you know, small space and all. So what I did is I just cut the ring out and pushed it down into the bottom. So the sides don't have any carpet, but the bottom does. So I'll take some brake cleaner and just wipe around this edge here to take out any glue residue that may be in there. And I've cut for my seat belt up front, and then there's like a little pocket that pops in here that holds the back seat belt. And then I'll clip that back in, and then I've got my accessory door here. I'm going to cut the fabric off that. So I trimmed that really tight. I trimmed it into the groove here. So we'll see how that works out. This thing is already pretty tight, so I may have to trim off completely off of the edge, off of this other piece. So I'm gonna fit that in there and just see how it fits before I actually trim everything off. All right, I've got the interior panels finally reinstalled. So everything looks really nice. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It is so much quieter in the car, and it also sounds very solid, very dull sounding, so it doesn't have any kind of rattles or creaks or anything like that anymore. Darkened it up a lot, makes it look a lot darker on the inside. I am really happy with the way everything turned out. It looks really so much better than it did look. And I just vacuumed, so the carpet's clean. It doesn't stay like that for very long, but now there are welded in nuts in the ceiling here that I want to use for mounting some tie down bars. So that way I can use, if I've got stuff that's really tall, I can strap it over and use these as mounting points. What I've done is I've painted what would be called unistrut in the US. I don't know what they call it here, but it's the same as unistrut. It's got a bunch of different holes in it. You can see those. So that'll allow me to put my tie downs through it. I can also wrap strap around it. So I've got those painted black so they'll blend right in, and I'm going to install those now. So I cut some little wood blocks to fit inside the unistrut, and then I'm going to run the bolt through there and tighten it down. And this will keep the unistrut from crushing, and it also keep my washers from going inside the unistrut from the back, because the washers are just slightly larger than the unistrut itself. If the bolt moves a little bit, the bolt can slide into the unistrut. This will stop that, and it also will give me a nice solid, so when I actually tighten down, if it starts squeezing the unistrut, it can only squeeze so far before it's crushing down on the wood. Okay, so here they are installed. What I did was I had to drill out one of the slots because some of the slots are smaller. Bolt would not go through the hole, so I used a burr tool, enlarge that hole so that it would go through. I've got a washer on the top. I have a washer right behind it that's squeezing tight with the wood in between. I have two large nuts that just slide on and off the bolt, and then another washer at the metal part, and then I've got at least a good 1/2 inch of threads into that nut, and so I've got them both installed, and that gives me enough space to be able to get a strap behind it. The hooks can hook on top like that. They can hook into some of the larger holes, and I can also just put like little bungee straps and stuff. I can just put the little bungees into those and down to the spots in the floor, or to these, the seat anchors. I've got quite a few spots that I can tie down, but this gives me something up high that I did not have before. I believe this job is now done for the moment, and I've thought about doing some sort of track system in the floor using something similar to the unistrut and removing these bolts. These are the bolts that hold the rear seat in, and we don't even have a rear seat. We have these seats and they will tilt up, but even when they're in place tilted up, I end up carrying a lot of stuff that's 2 meters long. From the edge of the seat to the corner here is about 2 meters. I can also put stuff up on the dash if I need to that's really long, and then I also carry stuff on the roof if I need to. But that helps me get in and out of here, and I don't need those seats. If we know we're gonna need them, then we just put them back in. So I'm gonna do a quick vacuum up all the dirt I just put in my freshly cleaned floor. And yeah, I think this is a big improvement. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I've got lots done to this thing over the last few weeks, getting the carpet in and making it look a lot nicer, feel a lot nicer, and be a lot more soundproof and quiet when you're driving down the road. I still need to do sound deadening in the front doors, but that's going to be a whole nother video because I'm going to do some other things, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. Any questions, comments down below. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.